Hey, it's John. Welcome back to my channel. Now, the last video was a little light with construction activity, so today we're just going to get straight into it with part 2 of the California High-Speed Rail Construction Package 2-3 October 2020 update. When we left off last time, we had just reached the Idaho Avenue grade separation, and here we're looking at it from the north. We're currently standing at Iona Avenue, which will likely have a grade separation built as well. Now we're traveling east on Houston Avenue. And now we're traveling west on Hanford Armona Road. It appears they're working on the canal we're about to cross over, likely in advance of working on the high-speed rail grade separation. Now we'll jump to the most impressive structure of Construction Package 2-3, which is the Hanford Viaduct. The Hanford Viaduct will be a truly amazing structure, which will carry the high-speed rail tracks over the city of Hanford, which has a population of approximately 58,000 people. The viaduct will span approximately 2 miles and require the installation of nearly 7,000 underground piles. This also brings us to the first station of the project. The Kings Tulare County Regional Station will actually be built on the viaduct, which is why it is wider than the 2-track right-of-way that we've seen up to this point. On the left, you can see the Dragados Flatiron Joint Venture Precast Concrete Production Facility that I talked about in the last video. The San Joaquin Valley Railroad that we're crossing over is a subsidiary of the Genesee in Wyoming. It interchanges with both the UP and the BNSF and crosses the BNSF main line just west of here in downtown Hanford. The station at Hanford has actually been fairly controversial, as Kings County opposes the entire high-speed rail project, but neighboring Tulare County has been quite supportive. One of the reasons the above-ground station was chosen was the possibility of someday building a connecting rail service to the larger city of Visalia to the east, possibly using the San Joaquin Valley Railroad corridor. But these plans are still very preliminary at this point. Here's the first of many grade separations north of Hanford at Fargo Avenue. On the right, you can see a lot of precast culvert segments that will be installed under the elevated berm to protect from flooding. As you can see, there are quite a few dairies around Hanford. Here's another grade separation at Flint Avenue. If you notice that transmission line we're flying over, it appears to be probably at least 50 years old. Obviously, there isn't much risk of wildfire in the Central Valley, but aging transmission lines that are owned by the private company Pacific Gas and Electric have started many of the wildfires in California's recent history. I'm guessing a grade separation will be built at Elder Avenue, but no work is yet visible. Off in the distance, you can see the nearly complete grade separation at Excelsior Avenue. And here we are looking at Excelsior Avenue from the north. Here at Dover Avenue, you can see that 3 of the 4 roads will be elevated over the high-speed rail tracks, with Avenue 8 being rerouted to the east. You can just make out a water truck spraying to keep down the dust as the alignment is being graded. Again, the Central Valley was incredibly dry at the time of filming. Here is the first of several viaducts to be built over the Riverside Ditch Arroyo, Cairo Avenue, 9th Avenue, the Dutch John Cut, and eventually Highway 43 yet again. Here's the Cairo Avenue Viaduct from the ground. So here we are looking at the Dutch John Cut from the northwest. It might seem like we're crossing Highway 43 a lot, and we are, but the route of high-speed rail has been carefully planned and negotiated to displace the fewest homes and businesses possible. Here's where the tracks will cross back over Highway 43. As we continue north, you can see a dirt borrow site on the left. Obviously, millions of cubic yards of dirt are needed for various grade separations and viaducts in this project. Moving dirt is likely one of the larger costs of construction on this right-of-way. And here's a shot of that borrow site. Davis Avenue is closed to traffic while the grade separation is being built, unlike some of the other projects where the alignment of the road is changed. So here we are on the second day of filming, which explains the change of lighting. We're now looking at Davis Avenue from the northwest. You can see how crops have been cleared for the grade separations at Fowler Avenue and Elkhorn Avenue in the distance. As we're approaching the BNSF tracks, you can see an intermodal train off to the left. I'm guessing Clovis Avenue will be rerouted to the east of the high-speed rail tracks. So here's some additional footage of the Fowler and Elkhorn Avenue grade separations. Here at the Clarkson Avenue grade separation, you can see how Minnewawa Avenue will be rerouted to the west. On the right, precast girders are being stored for the Canejo Viaduct pergola, which we'll see in a minute. The elevation of the right-of-way raises as we approach the Canejo Viaduct. You can see the shorter viaduct over Peach Avenue has the concrete forms in place. The Canejo Viaduct is another impressive structure which will carry high-speed trains over the BNSF tracks. From this point, the high-speed rail tracks will stay to the west of the BNSF tracks all the way to Fresno. Here at Canejo Avenue, you can get a sense of how large these structures are. Off to the right is a cold storage facility for loading produce from the Central Valley onto rail cars. It's obviously a lot more advanced than the old days of the ice-cooled cars of the Pacific Fruit Express. Here at Mountain View Avenue, notice how many trees have been cleared for the future grade separation. Chestnut Avenue on the left will actually be an elevated T-road intersection with Mountain View, and the northern alignment of Chestnut will be rerouted to the east of the grade separation. You can make out the future curved route of Chestnut Avenue off to the right. So here we are facing north looking at Chestnut Avenue. As we rotate to the west, you can get a feel of how massive this grade separation will be. Now we're looking at that intersection from the north, and as we turn north, you can see more solar panels that will have to be removed for the high-speed rail right away. Here at Floral Avenue, You can see that crops have been removed for the future grade separation, but no work has yet begun. And here's another southbound BNSF train. Here's the beginning of the relocation of the BNSF tracks. You can see how the right-of-way appears to be nearly ready for track installation. Approximately 2 miles of track will be relocated east of the town of Bowles. You can even see cars full of ties off to the left, likely destined for this project. Manning Avenue will also receive a grade separation. Fowler Packing on the left does not appear to be serviced by BNSF, which would certainly complicate this track relocation if they had. The BNSF track relocation ends at South Avenue, where grade separation is quite far along. North of South Avenue, you can see the cleared right-of-way for the high-speed rail tracks. Here at the future Adams Avenue grade separation, you can see a northbound Amtrak San Joaquin. I don't know if Clayton Avenue will receive a grade separation, but Lincoln Avenue clearly will. On the left, you can see what appears to be the Dragados Flatiron Joint Venture offices. As we approach the American Avenue grade separation, we reach the end of construction package 2-3. American Avenue is actually part of CP1, so we'll pick back up with that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more updates, and if you liked the video, give it a like, and if you didn't like the video, don't watch it. And I will see you all soon.